Our whole app is moved over. We're reconnected. We did not have to recreate any users, and we kept all of our code. And now what you can do from here is continue to use Lovable to edit everything in your app, but now you control the cloud. If you've used Lovable to build an app, you probably love the way that their interface works for interacting with an agent and creating. But most people are finding that they don't like the lock-in that exists with Lovable Cloud. I'm going to show you how to keep Lovable as your editor, but move away from Lovable Cloud so that you can own the infrastructure that your app is sitting on top of. Let's go ahead and dive in and walk through this process. Today, we're going to move a very simple app, but it has several backend features on Lovable Cloud that we'll want to migrate over. If we look at the cloud here, we can see that this has a database with a couple tables. It has users in Lovable Cloud Auth, and it has some secrets here. Let's go ahead and start with setting up a new Supabase project to move this into. So you'll get a Supabase account if you don't already have one. We're going to go over here and create a new one. We'll click New Project and name it. We're going to name this Shepherd AI 2, because that's the name of this project here. And you're going to generate a password and copy that. I recommend having a document open that you can just paste a few things into because you're going to need them. Enable automatic RLS and create new project. Now, while that's creating, let's go ahead and set up everything else we need. We're going to leave our app up in Lovable here and open a new tab with Lovable. And we're going to ask it to create a blank app that we can move our files into. I create a blank app named Shepherd AI 2. I'm just giving it a name here, and we will send that off. And then let's take a look at the toolkit we're going to use to get all of this information, because Lovable will not show us these keys, and most people don't know where these keys came from or how to get them again easily. So we're going to just make that super easy to do. We're going to go over here and use a toolkit. I'll have a link to this toolkit below this video, but we're going to go and grab this Lovable Migration Toolkit. And if you open the README, it's going to look like this and have some instructions for you. You'll start here at the install. You're going to open the chat in your project here, and then you're going to attach every file inside the For Lovable folder. So when you look at the folder, you'll see this For Lovable, and it has all of these files in it. We're going to select all of those, drag them into our chat. Then we're going to go to our README again and copy this prompt, little prompt right here. Just copy that, paste that in, send it on its way. It's going to walk us through a few steps. It's going to read that. Let's go ahead and see here. We have our blank Shepherd AI app. Let's take a look. We have basic code here, no Lovable Cloud. Let's go over and see if this project is ready. We're going to refresh it. It's still building, so we'll give that a moment and we'll loop back to it in a second. Over here at our app, we can see that it's reviewing the prompt, and it's going to tell us that we need a token and that it needs to enable this environment variable. Now, Lovable does not know that it cannot create this variable. So we're going to copy this, and we're going to go over to our code, scroll down to our env, paste that at the bottom, go ahead and put your quotes around it so it follows the format of the rest, and click save. Once that's saved, then you can reply back and say, do option A, and I already put this variable in the .env. We're going to put that here. Now it has generated a token for us. You're going to want to copy this into that document you opened earlier where you can keep a few things. So just copy that token in because you'll need it in a moment. Once you have it copied, just reply back and say, I've copied it. And now it will open this form to add a secret. You're just going to paste that token right in here and save that. And that will put the secret in place for us. While that's saving, let's go see if our Supabase is up. It is live now. So we're going to go to our new blank app and we'll refresh this page so we get a fresh connection to Supabase. Make sure you're in Cloud. And we're not going to enable more features. We're going to go down below it to already have a Supabase project and click this. If you don't already have your organization connected, you can use the button to add it. Mine is already here, so we're going to click Continue. And we're going to look for the database we just created for this one. Here we have the Shepherd AI 2. Click Connect. This will connect that Supabase to this new project here. Now, if you haven't already, you'll want to connect your application to GitHub. This one is already connected, but this is where you would do it. You would click here and there would be a button to connect. This one is already connected to GitHub. So what you're going to do then is go to GitHub Desktop. You're going to download that repository with this clone repository. You'll look it up. It's already on my computer right here. So I'm going to click Show in Finder. And here I have all of those files. This is the app that I'm moving. And I want to keep it in Lovable, but I want to move it off of Lovable Cloud. I'm going to press Command A, and I'm going to hold the Command key while I unclick the Git folder. Then we're going to do Command C to copy all of that. Next up, we're going to go to our new blank one, close the cloud, and connect this to GitHub. Right here is what the connect button looks like. If you don't already have your GitHub account connected, this is where you do it. Mine's already connected, so I'm going to just push this app there. It's called Shepherd AI Launch. There we have it. We're going to go back to GitHub Desktop, add that with the clone button. You might have to refresh. You're going to select that repo and clone it. When we show that in Finder, we now have the new one. What we're going to do is select everything in this folder. So we'll Command A, and we're going to again Command and unclick the .git folder. Then we're going to right click and move all these to trash. After that, we're going to paste in everything that we copied from this folder. We'll do Command V and paste it all in. Then we go back to our GitHub desktop. Just name this Migrated Files down here. Commit these files up and push those out. Now, when we go back into this project, this one that we just created, if we refresh it, we'll see that those migrated files are here. And they're sitting over here as well. We're going to leave those there for a moment and go back to our source application. We have a new link to go to. So the way you get to this is go up here to the top and just click it. It'll show up in the drop down, or you can just type in opichi/opichi here. This is going to ask for that token that we copied earlier. So we're going to bring that back in, unlock this. You can ignore this error here. And we're going to tell it to load the environment variables. Now we have everything here, including the secrets that we couldn't see. We have our OpenAI key, the Lovable API key. There's the resend API key and the resend email. All of those that were in the secrets, we now have those. We can click Reveal Values to show all of them. And then we can click this Copy All and paste those into our document where we're saving everything, because we'll need those later. And we'll go down here to the bottom and we're going to copy this database connection URL. We need that as well. Make sure you label that the source or old database in your notes. So I've copied that over into a notepad for myself. Do that for yourself as well. Then we're going to go over to the new one that we just created. We're going to click connect. We're going to go over to this direct connection string right here. And we're going to see a URL down here with a password that is missing. This is the password that we created and saved in our document when we were creating the Supabase account. So we're going to copy this URL and go ahead and put that in your document and label it as the destination, and then replace this your password, including the braces around it. Replace that with the password that you saved. I'm going to put that password in my document here, the other screen. Now I have a destination database and a source database that I'll be using. Now we're going to get into a bit more complex work. What we're going to use for this is a tool called Claude Code. You can look up Claude Code in Google and it's available as a download. You have to have a Claude account to use it. If you don't want to use Claude Code, you could use something like OpenAI Codex. Gemini might be able to do this work, although it probably is going to fail. But I recommend using Claude Code. If you watch my other videos, I have several that show how to install Claude Code. Once you have Claude Code installed, you're going to have it in a terminal like this. And we're just going to open that by typing Claude. Now we have Claude Code open. And we're going to give it a prompt. We're going to say, I have a source and a destination Supabase database, and the source includes users that need to be migrated as well. We need to specify these users. I will provide the URLs. Please help with the migration. Here it's verifying the URL format. Okay, let's go ahead and answer these questions. So the first question here is, yes, we want to preserve the users. We want to preserve the users' IDs and passwords. We're going to say that the destination is a fresh database we can overwrite. We want public and auth and storage if it exists. We're going to say we will redeploy the edge functions and put in the secrets after this copy, because we already have copied over our edge functions here. So those are already here. This is the edge function that's been copied over. And we have all of the secrets over here. So we'll be able to move those over as well once everything is copied. Then we're going to give it the database URLs that we want to use. Then we're going to just let it proceed through this work. So you'll have to approve a few actions here. It's checked both the databases and it's going to see what's in both. And the reason we're using Claude Code for this is we can't just dump from one Supabase to another. It has to be exported in pieces and migrated over. And Claude Code will do those steps for us as it goes through this process. And you'll keep sending it on its way here. Copy this information over. See here, it has to do these exports in pieces. Here, it's just updating the export so that we can properly import it here. Now it's going to check and see if everything got migrated or not. And make sure our user is in place. The goal with this process is that we can end up without having to reset any user's passwords at all. Okay, that is in place. Now we're going to go to our new application. Actually, let's go ahead and open up the Supabase, and we'll be able to click the table editor and see that that information is in here. And this is the same stuff we imported or we exported. So if we go back to this project in the cloud, then go to the database, we can see that there's a message in here. And it's the same message that we had over here. Everything's brought over. We'll go over to authentication, and we can see that the user is here, and this user ID right here should be the same. There it is. It's the same user ID in both places. This means users don't have to be recreated or changed at all. This is a migration that really keeps everything in place. Now we're going to go over here to our new application. First, we're going to refresh the page. And now that we have our database connected over here, we're going to go into our messaging and say this. We have migrated all of our data to this new database that we connected. Please deploy our edge functions and tell me where to put the secrets. The secrets are going to end up in our new Supabase here. Now it has deployed our edge functions and it's listed the secrets that we need. So here are the 3 secrets. We have those in our old app. If we go back to this Opichi, and you probably copied and saved those as well, but in case you didn't, you can get them again here. And we have all those secrets. So here's our API key, the from email, all that's in place. Now, let's go get those put in. To put those secrets in, we're going to go over here to the cloud button and go down to the bottom where it says manage secrets. And this is going to open up our secrets here. We're going to put those in one at a time. So we're going to flip between them. So the first one we need is this OpenAI API key. You're going to copy that, paste it in, and then go and copy the key and paste that in. Then we're going to add another. We needed the resend API key. We're going to copy that, paste it in, go over here, get the resend API key itself, paste it in, and one more. If you lose track, you can go back and take a look, looking for the resend from email now, which is right here. Paste that in. And we will grab our resend from email, paste that value in here, and save all of those secrets. Now that those are in place and we've refreshed our app, we are now running here with the application, and it is no longer connected to Lovable Cloud, but it is using our Supabase that we set up. Let's go ahead and test it. We'll click a few things here, put in some information. And we'll make sure that this all shows up in our database. So if we go back to our database and we go to our table editor, we'll refresh this here. And see that we have our test 2 right there. And now these messages are generated by AI once somebody submits it. So let's go ahead and log in as an admin. We'll make sure that the user copied over. And you'll see I did not have to change my password. That's the same user password that I had in the other app. Copied over entirely. Here is that test 2, and it's still generating the email. So we want to make sure that this connection works. There it is. There is our draft. So we should see that email over here in Supabase now. If we refresh, there it is right there. Our whole app is moved over. We're reconnected. We did not have to recreate any users, and we kept all of our code. And now what you can do from here is continue to use Lovable to edit everything in your app. But now you control the cloud. You have Supabase over here. You're controlling that connection. You're not relying on Lovable Cloud at all for any of this to work. Your other version of the application sits here. So if you have it published, you're going to need to unpublish that and publish your new one once you're done testing. But of course, there's no big rush for that. Go through and test every feature. Then when you're ready, go ahead and publish and move your domain over. Then you are going to be ready to go and keep using Lovable to edit your app. I'll go ahead and put a link down below this video for the tools that I used to get all of this information. If you go back over to the README and go down to the bottom, you can just copy this little prompt right here. And it will go through and remove all of this from your app so that there's no security holes anywhere. I'll delete the secret here. You can see that this route is now missing. There's nothing here anymore at the /opichi route. And then you can go over here into the code, the env, and remove this dev tools variable and save it. And it'll tell you you can do that because again, Lovable can't access this env file. That is how you migrate everything over, keeping Lovable as your editor while moving off of Lovable Cloud. Go ahead and drop a comment if you found this helpful. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next video.